Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you along while I cook dinner. This is a new recipe for me and it's one that I saw in my Taste of Home magazine, the latest issue that came, and I just tweaked it a little bit to try to get the points down. So come along with me while I make dinner. We are making baked chicken and zucchini. So what we have, I have 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. In this pan, I have 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water, salt and pepper, and I've beaten it. And then in this tray, I have 3/4 cup of plain dry breadcrumbs. So we're just gonna start by dredging our chicken in the egg, and then in the breadcrumbs to make sure it's all coated. And we're going to do all 4 pieces. Okay, so this little trick I got from Kim over to Girl on Her Phone. You can see I did not use all 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. And breadcrumbs have points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leftovers and measure them. Now, if I thought about doing this, I would have weighed it instead of measuring because it would have been much easier. But I honestly didn't think there was going to be any left. I thought I was going to use that whole 3/4 of a cup. So we have left about 1/3 of a cup. So once I do the math and figure out what 3/4 of a cup minus 1/3 of a cup is, I'll let you know how many we actually used. The next thing we're gonna do before we cook the chicken is we're gonna get the zucchini sliced. So I just have, calls for 5 zucchini. I only have 4, so that's what we're using. And I'm just going to thinly slice the zucchini. I like to leave the skin on. If you want it peeled, you can peel it. Whatever works for you. Once we get all the zucchini peeled, we're going to slice up the tomatoes. And once again, I like those a little bit on the thin side. So I'm gonna finish these up and we're gonna get that chicken cooking. Okay, in my skillet, I have 1 tablespoon of oil heating. The original recipe and the recipe on my website does call for 2, but I'm gonna try it with 1. And it's nice and hot. So I'm just gonna lay the chicken in there. And I'm gonna cook it about 3 minutes per side. It does not have to cook all the way through because we are going to be baking the chicken. So I'm gonna let that go for 3 minutes, flip it over and do the other side. Okay, once it's cooked for about 3 minutes, we're gonna just flip it over. Got a nice little golden sear on that. And we'll let it go for another 3 minutes. Okay, our chicken is nicely done on both sides. So we're just gonna take that out, set it aside. Like I said, it does not have to cook all the way because it is going in the oven. Now I'm going to add another tablespoon of oil. And we're gonna saute the zucchini. We're going to season this with some salt and pepper, and I think a little bit of garlic powder. You can use whatever type of spices that you like. You can use some fresh garlic. Just got lazy and used garlic powder. Italian seasoning would be good. Anything. And we're just going to let this cook until it's tender crisp, just for a couple of minutes. Okay, the zucchini is done to my liking. So I am just going to take it out of the frying pan and put it into the baking dish. The baking dish is greased. I probably did not need that extra olive oil to saute the zucchini in because it does put out some water, but live and learn. And I also did forget to reserve 2 tablespoons of the breadcrumbs. We were supposed to reserve 2 tablespoons of those, and of course I didn't. So we're going to get 2 tablespoons out, and we are going to sprinkle them over the zucchini. We'll bring it back to the counter and show you that. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs over the zucchini. There's 1. And then here's 2. Then we are going to take our tomato slices and just lay those over the top of the zucchini. Can't wait to make this with garden fresh tomatoes and garden fresh zucchini. We actually have some zucchini out there on the plants and some tomatoes. Nowhere near ready yet, but we're getting there. Okay, so we have that, and now we're going to take about 2/3 of our mozzarella. It's just plain shredded mozzarella. Sprinkle that on. And then 2 teaspoons, I didn't measure, of fresh basil that's been chopped. This is fresh from the garden basil. My arrow garden. I could go out to the garden. My cameraman's looking at me and looking over at the arrow garden like, Mom, it's fresh from the arrow garden. I could go out to the kitchen garden or to the herb garden because I do have basil out there too, but this was right in front of my face. Now I've lost my train of thought. Okay, now we're gonna just top it with the chicken. Ooh, Bessie. We are going to cover this with foil. We're going to bake it at 400 degrees until the temperature reaches between 165 and 170 on the thickest part of the chicken. Probably take about 25 or 30 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken breasts are. Then we're going to uncover it, sprinkle with the rest of the mozzarella, and bake another 10 minutes until the cheese is all melted. So let's get this covered and get it in the oven. Okay, here it is out of the oven after 25 minutes of baking. So now I'm just going to take the remaining cheese. I got to do this myself. I lost my cameraman. And just sprinkle a little bit on top of each one. And then we're going to pop it back in the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes until the cheese melts. So I forgot to film it in the pan when it came out of the oven, but you get the gist. Here it is. I have it served with some roasted sweet potatoes on the side. Now on my website, it shows it's 8 points on blue and purple and then 10 points on green. I only used a half a cup of breadcrumbs and 2 tablespoons of oil. So that brought the points down to 6 on blue and purple and 8 on green. So, you know, you definitely have to watch and measure and things like that, and the points will come down for you. So there it is, baked chicken and zucchini. So as you can see, it is the next day when I am finally closing out this cook with me. It was a night, but I will say that dinner was so good. We really, really enjoyed it. My kids, who are not huge zucchini lovers, they like it in bread, of course, and they like it fried, but they're not big like roasted zucchini lovers, and they really even enjoyed it. And I'll tell you, if you want to save some points, I don't think the cheese is necessary. I don't think it added that much. Maybe because there wasn't a whole lot in there. I'm not sure, but I don't really think it was necessary. Just the freshness of the veggies and everything, definitely a winner. So I cannot wait until the zucchini and the tomatoes are abundant in the garden so I can use my homegrown veggies in this. So let me know below if this is something you think your family would like, and let me know if you decide to give it a try, because like I said, we really enjoyed it. I am going to go over to my website and tweak the recipe a little bit for the amount of breadcrumbs I ended up using and the amount of oil. So we got to lower the points a little bit, and that's always a win in my book. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video.